Toxapex has become one of the most iconic Gen 7 Pokemon, and that's mainly because of its battle prowess. Ever since its inception, this water and poison type Pokemon has become one of the most powerful defensive Pokemon in singles, and we will discuss why. We will also discuss how, despite being severely nerfed in Gen 9, it has managed to adapt in those surroundings. Toxapex only has two really good stats, that being defense and special defense, and for a defensive Pokemon, those are the most useful ones. With max defense investment, Toxapex is capable of surviving a super effective Adamant Nature Landorus Therian Earthquake. Its special defense is also good, which along with its good defensive typing lets it tank moves like Flamethrower, Moonblast, Dazzling Gleam, Scald, etc. It can even tank super effective moves like Thunderbolt from Tapu Koko. However, you might be thinking, so what if it can tank a move once? I just have to hit this thing multiple times and it will die, right? Well, this is where Toxapex's ability Regenerator comes in. Regenerator gives you 1/3 of your HP back whenever you switch out. This gives Toxapex endless opportunities to be useful. For example, it could switch into a super effective move from a choice Scarf Pokemon, scout the move and switch back into a counter, recovering 1/3 HP in the process. Not to mention, it also has Recover, which further helps Toxapex to get HP back. You might ask another question, well, what can it do back? You don't win a Pokemon battle just by tanking moves. Well, this is Toxapex's biggest flaw. It is not the best in doing damage to your opponent with those attacking stats. In other words, it's passive. It has good options for passive damage with Scald Burns and Toxic. It also has other utility moves like Knock Off and Haze. Okay, so with that description out of the way, what has Toxapex lost in Gen 9? Well, currently it does not have Knockoff and Scald, which certainly removes a lot from its utility. To be fair, it has Infestation and Chilling Water, which is a worse replacement for Scald. However, these changes have made it much more passive. Setup sweepers like Dragonite also grew in usage, which could take advantage of Toxapex by simply using Substitute, which rendered it useless. Recover PP was also reduced to half, which really cut down on the unkillability factor. So how did Toxapex adjust to these nerfs? Well, Toxapex has adapted with an Assault Vest set with a modest nature. Assault Vest is an item which restricts your Pokemon to only using attacking moves with the benefit of a 50% special defense boost. Didn't I just mention about those pathetic attacking stats? Then what is the purpose of using Toxapex as an Assault Vest attacker? Well, turns out with proper investment, Toxapex is capable of breaking substitutes and doing good damage with special attacks like Surf, Ice Beam and Sludge Bomb. It can still use Infestation, so it still has an option for passive damage. Well, what about recovery, you might ask? Well, don't forget about Regenerator. Sure, it cannot use Recover anymore, but remember that it is not passive now. It just has to land attacks and it can switch to regain health with Regenerator. This playstyle is already used with other Regenerator Pokemon like Tornadus Therian and Mienshao, which also run Assault Vest sets. So to conclude this video, we can say that Toxapex was an excellent defensive Pokemon throughout Gen 7 and 8, and in Gen 9, despite getting nerfed, it has adapted in a rather unexpected way and still managed to be good.